So I just want to say welcome.
Thank you, Misha.
Claire.
It is my pleasure to be with you.
In your opinion, what makes an interview truly unforgettable?
A genuine one, and definitely authenticity.
Okay.
An interview, if not authentic, cannot reach people and cannot touch the chords of their hearts.
So in that case, when you've sat down with someone, male or female, and they've said something, has it ever changed the way you've thought? Have you ever thought, oh, I didn't think of that? And have you taken that out of the interview? And
Sometimes you've got two types of guests. You have the easy ones and you have the difficult ones. You have the ones who know how to talk and to speak and to open up. And you've got the ones who are aloofs, who are secluded and who do not want to open up.
So how do you get them to open up?
I don't know if it's a way or a pattern, but I think after 25 years or 30 years in that profession, I know how to push people to feel that they are with a friend and they can open up to him easily.
Who's had the most profound influence on you, and who do you think has been the most influential in your career that you've interviewed?
I've interviewed hundreds of people, if not thousands of people. I think my encounters with Amin Maalouf were among the best ones. Amin is a force of nature. He was able to be human in everything he said, everything he wrote, and he has gained this huge reputation all over the world. And I loved my encounters with him. There were 3, and one of them, which was in French, was one of the best ones I've ever done.
Really? If you had to choose 3 people, living or dead, to have a dinner with, male or female, who would they be?
Today I would choose Aung San Suu. This lady has been a mystery for me. I do not know where to place her. A woman who gives up all her life and the luxury she could have had and her family just for the sake of her country. The best way to know anybody around the table, around a meal. When you share a meal, it's different because all the senses work together. The second person I would think of, dead or alive, is Fidel Castro.
Oh, yes.
I would have loved to
You never got a
him.
chance to see him.
Time was not by my side. Time is a very important parameter. And definitely I would have loved to sit with Edith Piaf.
Ah.
Edith Piaf, it's not because she's one of the biggest icons the music industry knew, but it is her life story, her journey in life. That orphan who lived in the streets, and from the streets of Paris, she went up and she became the icon she was.
With all that in mind and all the interviewing, what inspired you to set up 𝐃𝐚𝐮? What was the driving force behind that?
Changing the narratives.
Yeah.
You know,
God, I love that. Everybody needs to change the narrative.
you know, I think, we embraced the Arab Spring before there was the uprising in the Arab world. We thought about change before Tunisian and Egyptians thought about embracing them in their own countries. I wanted to see the Arab world change. I wanted to see the Arab world defying and countering what the regimes have always wanted. They wanted them to be alienated, stupid, hypnotized, not questioning what was happening without them. They were eating, dancing, following soccer games, having shisha,
but never
and
questioning.
that's it, and having kids and procreating and nothing else. Yeah. I wanted the world to change. And this is, what 𝐃𝐚𝐮 came to tell the whole Arabs, come on, look at those men and women. They are remarkable. We don't even know who they are. They work in silence and tirelessly. Those ones deserve to be at the forefront. They deserve to be the leaders of this part of the world. So this is how the idea sprung up.
And it's just growing from strength to strength.
It's been 15
And I love
years.
that. To change the narrative about the Arab world is absolutely essential, especially after what we're seeing these days. Can you share with me a behind the scenes, the moment that maybe no one knows?
I came at an era we did not have emails. It was an era where communications were so difficult. I remember I used to write two women who were in my imagination and whom I dreamt of meeting. I recall the first time I wrote to Empress Farah Pahlavi of Iran.
Beautiful woman.
And I had, of course, a refusal. And then I did not give up. I sent another letter, and I kept on sending letters. Till one of those days, I received an answer telling me her Empress would love to meet you. So I wasn't believing my eyes. I jumped into the first plane, and then I went to Paris, and I met her at her mom's apartment.
Okay.
For security reasons. And this was my first encounter, and I remember when I saw her, I had tears in my eyes, and it was a beautiful moment.
Because it was something that you had really aspired to.
Of course. The second moment I would think of was when I met Fayrouz.
Oh, wow.
Fayrouz, you know, the iconic... She's not a singer, Fayrouz. She's much more than that.
So would you say you were starstruck?
You know, when Fayrouz came in,
yeah.
you know, and I saw her,
Yeah.
she was wearing, I recall very well, a red pant and a jeans shirt.
Yes.
And when she opened the door and she went out to where I was sitting, the sitting room I was sitting in, you know, it was for me a moment, one of the best moments of my life.
Wow.
And I did not know what to say and how to address her.
You who's asked a million questions to a million people.
Yeah.
Did she realize?
I think she knows her impact on anybody.
If you had to give any advice to up-and-coming young journalists, particularly women journalists that want to get into this field, what would that advice be?
Be yourself, be authentic. Don't think about being influencer in terms of followers and fellowship. Today, everybody's craving to have followers, and they don't care about the content. The content is what matters, and only authentic content can reach out to people. Only the good and the truthful journalist will remain. So if you are to be a journalist, if you are really to join a press group or a TV, or if you are to have your own podcast, wherever, be yourself, be genuine and work on content.
I want to ask you something that's personal. I'm not going to bring up the topic, but I know that you've had something that's happened in your life. I want to see how that made an impact, if that changed your perspective on so many things and how you dealt with that.
My son was hit with cancer. And cancer does not end to one single. I'm going to repeat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
My son was hit with cancer. My son had cancer. And dealing with this ordeal is a family matter. It was a very painful experience. It was a nightmare for 3 years in a row. But that journey, although very hard and thorny, has enabled me to reinvent myself, to change my skin, and to become a more compassionate and loving person. And I think that love in my life has become the value that has always guided me since then. You know, I had interviewed tons of people, tons of people, and every single encounter was a lesson of life for me. And all those lessons shaped me and made me who I am today. I have encountered Nelson Mandela.
Oh.
And Nelson Mandela is a lesson of humility, grandeur, and true activism. And although this encounter was a short one, it was one of the most impactful, as well as the one with Pope Francis. I recall when I first met him with my family, I had requested that meeting, and they gave me the meeting the day my son Nadim's birthday. And he was fighting, and he was struggling, and we went all to the Vatican, and we all met him. And the minute he came towards us, we were all crying, my wife, my mom and myself, and my kids were looking at him and not knowing what to say. And they felt the intensity of the feelings. And he looked at me and my wife, and he told us, don't be afraid. you're not alone. I'm with you. And that encounter was one of the moments I will never forget as long as I live.
And I can understand that. I am so thankful that you shared that with us. I'm so thankful that I had a chance to sit with you, that I've turned the tables and the interviewer becomes the interviewee. Thank you for all that you do. And we just can't wait to see the Arab world flourish, and through your platform, the 𝐃𝐚𝐮𝐝 organization, and hopefully it just keeps going from strength to strength, and for you to bring light and to bring love to some horrible situations that we're all facing around the world.
Thank you,
so
Misha.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Marie-Claire.